Hey, what's going on, guys? Today on the channel we're going to be taking a look at iOS 17. There are a ton of new features here in this update. There's well over 200 features. Also, all of these of course are available on iPadOS 17 as well, and then there's a few features that are available specifically for iPad. But today we're going to be taking a look at just the iPhone features, and we'll have a separate video about iPadOS 17. So be sure to stay tuned to the channel for that video. Also, we already have a video about watchOS 10, so if you're curious about all the new features in that release, then be sure to head over to that video. So we're going to be taking a look at this update here on my iPhone 13 Pro, and on this particular device the update came in at 3.18 gigabytes, so pretty chunky little update here. If you're wondering what phones are supported with iOS 17, it looks like as long as you have at least a 10R or up, that you'll be able to install this update. Also, iPhone SE, second generation or later. So yeah, iPhone 10 can no longer run a version of iOS, right? That's kind of sad. iPhone 10 was the first big revision of iPhone, and now it is no longer receiving the latest and greatest features. Kind of sad. Now we're going to try to cover as much features as we possibly can in this video. Like I said though, there are a ton, and I mean a ton of changes. So if I miss something, please forgive me. Let's go ahead and talk about first about phone features. Of course, the iPhone is a phone. We might forget that sometimes because there's so many things we can do on this device, but there are some changes here with your phone capabilities. So with the phone app down there, you'll notice a few things. The first one we'll talk about is the ability to create your own contact poster. So normally people can set a little profile picture as your contact photo in their phones, and that is what they'll see when they call. Now you can create your own contact kind of poster to take up the whole screen, and that is what people will see when they call instead. So Apple kind of gives you like monogram in the middle, your name, all that kind of stuff, or you can create an all new one. You can go down here to customize, you can choose your photo or your poster, and there's actually a lot of different customization that you can do here. So you can add a photo, whether that's of yourself or something else. You can also choose an emoji to put in there, so you can put maybe like your emoji of yourself. You can also record a little something to throw in there. So we'll just add my emoji, and you can see that if somebody calls me, it'll look kind of like this. Now, this is kind of a cool little fun thing to do, but I don't really think I'm going to actually create any of those for myself personally. But if you want to hop in there and create something, it'll be pretty cool. So you can definitely personalize your contacts. Another thing you can do with contacts is you can actually do this for each individual person. So I noticed the other day when I took my first phone call on iOS 17 that there was a little eye up here in the top right corner while you're on your call. You could tap on that, and that allows you to edit the contact poster there as well for that person. So if you want to pick and choose and create your own personal ones for different people, you can do that as well with contact poster. The next phone related feature we'll talk about here is the new live voicemail feature. So this can be accessed in your settings under the phone section. It should be on by default, but maybe your carrier may or may not allow that. So you want to go in there and double check that. Mine was on by default. So basically what live voicemail does is it kind of transcripts the call as the message is being left. So if somebody's calling you, you can see where it obviously will go to your voicemail, and you can see the message in real time transcribed on your screen, basically what message they're leaving. So it's pretty cool. So this is a good way to kind of see who's who, whether it's a spam call or not. And then you also have the ability to pick up the call right as they're leaving the message. So that is pretty cool. I haven't tried this feature yet, but I think it's going to be something very useful. Next thing here is there are new call controls. So instead of all your controls being in the center, like speakerphone, keypad, mute, etc., they have all been relocated down here to the bottom. So when you take a phone call now, you'll notice that those have been moved down below. And this is basically so that contact posters have their place to be viewed on your phone call, because if somebody calls you, they have a contact poster, chances are whatever image or emoji they use is going to be in the center of the screen, and if that's blocked by your call controls, then you won't be able to see that. So that is why they have moved those down to the bottom. And that certainly has taken me some getting used to. Messages have a lot of changes here to talk about. So the first one is there is a little bit of a redesign going on here. So I actually really prefer this now. You can see that right down here there's a little plus icon, and you can tap on that to see all of your kind of options that you would have had, like down here below where you type your message. So it kind of gives it a little bit cleaner look, and it kind of gives you the ability to navigate through this much quicker. Now, of course, if you select on one of these like stickers, then you'll have some different options pop up down here. Since we're on the stickers option, Apple has an entire new place dedicated to stickers. So no longer do you have to kind of go through the menus or look on your keyboard for stickers. You can see those all down here. There's everything from emojis to activity to different applications. So even, for example, I have Taco Bell installed. There's a whole sticker pack in Taco Bell, which I think is kind of cool. Also, Ford has a few things in here as well. And if you want to send a sticker, you just tap on it, boom, there you go. So yeah, stickers have definitely gotten something interesting going on here with all this stuff. So I really like that. There's also live stickers, so this one's actually animated, as you can see right there. Another little UI change here in stickers is another little UI change here in messages. If you swipe right on a individual line item, you can reply immediately to somebody. So no longer you have to actually hold down, hit reply. So you can go up here, just show you on this one as well, swipe right, and you can type your message or whatever and reply individually just like that, quick and easy. So very cool. There's also a new check-in feature. So you can go down here to check-in, and this allows you to let your family or friends automatically know whenever you reach a location. So you can tap on the check-in, you can set a location, and it'll automatically text your family or whoever you want to know when you arrive somewhere, your location, letting them know that you got there safely. Also, if somebody sends you an audio message, it'll now be transcribed for you so you can read it out instead of actually listening to it. Messages also has some search improvements. So it's kind of like the spotlight search on your phone. Now you can really look deep into your messages to find something quick and easy. Another cool thing that they've added here is there's a new one-time verification code cleanup. So basically you get all those texts with all those verification codes. They get automatically deleted. Yes, finally get automatically deleted after you use them in the system. So basically, if you're trying to sign into something, you get texted a verification code, you will now, once you tap on the little thing where you can autofill it, it'll delete it for you, your message thread. That is really cool. I like that. Let's talk about some changes to FaceTime. So now you can leave a message on FaceTime with an actual video message. So if somebody doesn't pick up your FaceTime call, you can leave them a video message or even an audio message so you can let them see your face. I don't know if that's really necessary, but hey, it's cool, I guess, that you can do that. Also with FaceTime, you can now use that on your Apple TV. So if you update your Apple TV to tvOS 17 and you have the Apple TV 4K second generation or later, you'll now be able to place a FaceTime call and project it to your TV. So that way you can definitely see who you're talking to on your TV. There's also new reactions that you can use in FaceTime. So when you make a FaceTime call, if you hold down on the little square where your face is, you can send individual reactions. So you can send like a thumbs up, a thumbs down, hearts, anything like that. You can also now customize the studio lighting or portrait mode here on a FaceTime call as well. So a lot more customization options here for FaceTime. Let's talk about an all new feature here in iOS 17, and that thing is called Standby. So Standby, think of this as a nightstand clock or something like that. So this is a full screen thing. So if you plug your phone in, you turn it sideways, you'll be able to see this. Okay, it was a little glitchy for some reason, but anyways, here is what nightstand mode might look like. So there's a lot of different information that you can customize here. So this is the screen that I have right now, but you can kind of swipe through. You can see it's more like a traditional clock right there. Also swipe over here to the left or right, and you can see different ones in here as well. If you hold down on these, you have the ability to customize them. Oops. Okay, it's really finicky when it's not completely still. But anyways, nightstand mode allows you to kind of go through and you can pick and choose different things you want to see on the screen. So for example, we could hold on to this one. Face ID is supposed to work sideways, isn't it? I don't know. But you guys kind of get the idea. You can customize this. You can choose different layouts and all sorts of different things here. There's different clock styles. I believe there's 5 different styles you can choose from. These different widgets and things right here that you can also pick. And then if you want to, you can have your photos to shuffle through or things like that. So a lot of personalization. And then there's also live activity support, of course, so you can see different things. Maybe you have a timer or something like that going. But yeah, that is basically the standby here on here. Now this basically kind of works better, obviously, if you have an iPhone with an always-on display, because if not, this is going to keep going off. There's no way to like make it stay on. But I think it's a cool feature. It's going to be a useful feature. I can see myself using this maybe with my new iPhone that's coming soon. But that is standby for you. There's also been a few changes to do with widgets. So now there's interactive widgets that you can add to your home screen, so you can take action right on the widget. So maybe if there was something like your home widget, you wanted to change a quick setting or something like that, you could easily do that. You can also have all sorts different customizations on your widgets as well. Some of the widgets that have some changes are things like contacts, home, Safari, all sorts of different stuff like that. And I've noticed that some of these have a better kind of refresh. Previously it just kind of refreshed, you didn't really see it happen. I noticed yesterday that when the weather app refreshed, you actually saw the digit go up. It had a different animation. So that was pretty cool. Something else that can finally be done that I'm happy to see is you can completely get rid of all widgets on your home screen. So if you like a very minimalist look like I do, this is exactly how I do it on my iPad, then you can get rid of all of those widgets now. So thank you for finally letting me be able to do this. AirDrop has gotten a few improvements and they are very much appreciated. So now finally you no longer have to stay sitting there for AirDrop to actually go through. You can see that the AirDrop menu looks a little bit different now. You can see your name at the bottom, what you appear as. It also reminds you that if you don't see anybody nearby, you can hold your iPhone up to another iPhone to also AirDrop now. And since we're talking about that right there, you can also do that for the new name drop feature, which lets you exchange the contact information with the contact posters. And there's a really cool animation that happens when you do that. But to demonstrate some AirDrop right now, I'm going to send this video of this dog over to my Mac. You can see it pops up top, and if I get out, you'll see that it's still going, even here on the lock screen. And once it's done, it's done. But anyways, that's basically how that works now. So you don't have to be in the wherever you're airdropping. Like, you don't have to sit there and watch it happen. I always hated that because, well, you know, you had to sit there and wait. Yesterday it was really cool. I recorded my watchOS 10 video on this phone, and it was so nice to not sit there for a good 15 minutes or so while it airdropped. I could literally do whatever I wanted to, and then it finally sent. So AirDrop, pretty cool stuff. The keyboard's gotten a few updates here, so now there's improved autocorrect accuracy, which makes typing even easier, which uses fancy processors in this phone. And there's also easy autocorrect editing, so it temporarily underlines the corrected words and lets you revert back to what you originally typed. So if I type out a sentence, you'll notice how this looks a little different here. So there's a little blue line there, and the predictive text has gotten much better as well. Let's talk a little bit about Safari. So Safari, if I open it, you'll notice, did you see that? Face ID. That's kind of cool. So there's Face ID now for private browsing. There's also more blocking capabilities. You can see down here that you actually get a full privacy report in private browsing. So you can see it says I've blocked 6 connections in private browsing. Your IP address is also hidden from known trackers and websites you visit. So private browsing enhancements, blocking known trackers from loading, and removing identifying tracking from URLs. So that's pretty cool. We go into our Safari settings, you can also see that we now have profiles. So profiles are good for keeping your browsing separate for topics like work or personal things. So it's going to separate everything, your history, cookies, different things, website data, all that. So you can now tap on here and you can create a new profile on Safari. Very cool. You can also see down here that we have the privacy settings. So we can hide our IP address. We now have the option for trackers and websites or trackers only. And then also you can see require Face ID to unlock private browsing. And then if we go down here to advanced, there's a lot more features in here as well. So advanced tracking and fingerprinting protection, and of course a few other things. And then down here are feature flags. You can see all those down there. So a lot more Safari settings. It's always nice to see that privacy focus. A few minor changes here to Apple Music. So SharePlay makes it easier for everyone to control music in the car. And then also there are different crossfade transitions between songs. So it's a more smooth transition to the next song. So that way your music never stops. You can also collaborate on different playlists in Apple Music now as well, just like you could on something like Spotify. A few changes here in AirPlay. So there's now intelligent AirPlay device lists. So it makes it finding the right AirPlay compatible device easier by showing it in order of relevance. So if I were to tap on AirPlay, it knows that I use my Office HomePod a lot for AirPlay, and then also my Apple TV in the bedroom, and it knows that I'm hardly ever airplaying something to the living room. So now the list is in order of relevance, so if you have a ton of different devices, you can easily find the one that you use the most. There also is automatic AirPlay now, so if I were to play a song, it may or may not connect to my Office HomePod. So yeah, AirPlay. Only a couple changes in maps this year. There are new offline maps, so you can select an area that you want to access, search, and explore, and then you can download it for offline use. So that's pretty nice. And then also, if you drive an electric vehicle, there are new EV routing improvements, which give you routes based on real-time EV charger availability. There's something pretty big with Siri. Yeah, see, Siri does not even have to have hey anymore. You just say her name. That's all you gotta do. So she'll activate if you just say Siri. So keep that in mind. No longer need to say hey. Also, you have the ability for back-to-back requests that can be issued without needing to reactivate Siri for commands. So you could say Siri. Siri? Tell me a joke.
I've started investing in stocks, chicken, vegetable, and beef. One day I hope to be a billionaire.
Tell me another joke. Tell me another joke.
My neighbors said they wanted to talk to me about my bad home security habits. I said, sure, my door is always open.
So anyways, you can now just keep talking. You don't have to keep pushing the button over and over. So that's on iPhone 11 and later. So if you want to do that, you can. Also, more changes to visual lookup. So there are expanded domains to help you discover similar items to your photo. There's also multiple or single subjects that can be lifted from the background of photos and videos in different apps like Messages. And also there are subjects and photos that you can look up information for as well. The Health app sees some changes as well. There's a new state of mind reflection, so you can allow your mental state, emotions, daily mood, different things like that, so you can determine what factors are having the biggest impact on you throughout the day. So you can do that in the Health app on your iPhone. You can also do that on watchOS 10 with the mindfulness application. So you can go in there and kind of reflect that, and then it'll obviously sync to your iPhone. There's a lot of new charts that'll help you see different insights on your mental health and all sorts of different things like that. There's also a new feature called Screen Distance. So it leverages the TrueDepth camera on your phone up there. So it will encourage you to increase your distance to view your device so it can limit your eye strain. Some people look at their phone a little too close, and if your phone realizes that, it'll tell you to back up. Pretty interesting. So those are the main features here. There's a lot of other minor improvements and different little changes here and there, but like I said, we'd be here forever if we were trying to cover all those features. So I think what I'm going to do actually is make a separate video on some things you may not knew about in iOS 17, but there are a lot of different privacy setting changes, different accessibility features, and things like that. I will say one of those little things that I've noticed since I've started using this is the vibrations for notifications are slightly different. So if you have a normal notification come in, the vibration feels different. If you have a phone call come in, that feels different. The text one feels the same, but the other ones, they definitely have a little bit of a different feeling to them, which is pretty interesting. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you in this video. Like I said, a ton of stuff here in iOS 17. Be on the lookout for more videos that will talk about some other features here in this, and also check out the iPadOS 17 video if that one has been released. If it's not, well, just stick around for it. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today. I appreciate you watching the channel as always, and I'll catch you on the next video.